just finished my interview with Jet from Sister Hazel, and I'm sitting here with my friend Nic Cowan, who is a special guest of theirs tonight. Pretty excited to see you live. I actually haven't got to see you live yet.
Yeah, I hope you like it.
I know I will. I guess we'll get right to the questions. I know you played with Sister Hazel before.
Yeah.
How did you meet the guys? And is there any plans for a tour with them in the future?
I met Ron Newell, the lead guitarist, at a bar called Tenerife about, it's been a long time, about 4 or 5 years ago. And we just kind of became buddies, and we've been hanging out writing ever since. So, and that's just kind of like how it all developed. And then I went on a cruise called the Rock Boat, which is their cruise that they do, their music cruise, and got to know the rest of the guys on that, and became buddies with them. And so every once in a while, I come out and open up for them.
Very cool. Yeah, they're really nice guys, they seem like.
They are.
You're originally from Texas. How did you get to Georgia, and do you miss your home?
Yeah, I'm from right outside Dallas, in a little town called Tyler. And I moved out here when I was 13 with my family. They moved out here for work. Not a lot of work where I'm from. So it's either kind of like you're poor or you're rich.
You didn't want to become a cowboy?
Well, I'm not from that part of Texas. I'm more east, on the east side. That's more West Coast, more like El Paso. But I came out here, and people ask me where I'm from. I tell them I'm from Georgia. I'm from Atlanta. But I do miss it. I go back every once in a while. I just did a month-long tour in Texas back in January. So yeah, I love it. It's Texas has this thing to it. It's its own thing. There's nothing like it in the country. The music is its own. The people are their own. It's a one of a kind. But I'm a Georgia boy, and I'm proud to be.
Very cool. Yeah, there's a lot of great acts that have come out of Texas. That's what I was going to ask you is what's it like when you go back to Texas? And I was going to ask you toured through there. Do you have friends that you had before in Texas that you go out and they come out and see you now?
Yeah, mostly. Well, I was so young. There's a couple, but for the most part, it's family. I left when I was really young, so for the most part. But yeah, my family definitely comes out.
When did you start playing music and writing?
I started playing drums when I was a kid, and really started out as a drummer. And then I got into playing guitar when I was in high school. I was 15. I started playing guitar, and pretty much once I learned 2 or 3 chords, I started writing.
Nice.
Just kind of been doing it ever since.
Yeah, I grew up in a musical family myself, and I was very lucky that both of my parents were musicians. Did you come from a musical family, and were they supportive?
Yeah, Dad played drums, Mom sings, so yeah, constantly around them. I remember being a little kid walking in the living room, being like 6, 7 years old. They'd be on the living room floor, Indian style, facing each other, write songs together. And
yeah, that's exactly how my family does.
I know. So you feel me?
Oh yeah, my mom's a classical pianist, my dad's a guitarist and singer, and so anytime I'm at home, it's basically music, especially Christmas holidays or around the piano. It's constant. It's very cool.
It's a good way to grow up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You grow up loving music in a different way, I think.
Oh,
if you're constantly exposed to it at that age.
I think so too. I think it works on the brain well, and I don't know, it just gives you something in high school, especially if you're like a nerdy kid or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I like to say I found music, but I mean, I think the truth of it is it was ingrained in me from an early age. So
that's what I tell everybody.
I think a large part of why I do what I do is from my childhood.
It found you, absolutely. I know you've been working on your debut album.
Mm-hmm.
When's this release happening, and are the guys from the Zach Brown band making an appearance on it?
It comes out in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got back the first song from being mixed yesterday. So, and yes, Zach's on the record. A lot of the guys in the band play on the record. Chris Fryer, the drummer, plays almost all the drums on the record. Clay Cook plays a lot of guitar, a lot of pedal steel on it. So I got a lot of guys in the band on it. Actually, Rod Newell plays a lot of guitar on the record as well. So yeah.
Sonia and Levi, are they on it any? Or?
Actually, I don't think they are. No. But Sonia's record comes out in the spring too, and I sing the song with her on her record. So.
Oh, awesome. I love Sonia. She's really cool. What studio are you using for the album?
We did a little bit of it up in Nashville, and we did a little bit of it down here at a place called 800 East, which is John Hopkins and Clay Cook's studio that they work at.
Most of us, when we write our songs and release our albums, find ourselves in a certain spot emotionally. Where were you at in writing for this album?
The songs from the record, the record's called Hard Headed, and they span over my life. So some songs are decade-old son or a year old. So it's all in different moments, you know, from the time I was a kid up to now. So it just kind of depends on the song. But yeah, definitely, I like to get into that place of whatever the song is going to be about.
How did you meet Zach and the guys? Did you go after them, or did they go after you to be on the label?
We have a mutual friend, Francisco Vidal, you know, friend, and he booked Zach to play a solo acoustic show, and he called me and asked me if I wanted to open up for him. This was probably about 2.5 years ago. So I said, yeah, I'd love to. So I went out, opened up for him, and Zach heard me opening up for him. So after I got done playing, he pretty much just came up and we got to talking and became friends, and he approached me about wanting to sign me to Southern Mountain Records, and that's kind of how it all started.
Awesome.
Pretty much went from that point on.
They've been doing a lot of really good stuff for you. I've seen, like, since you came on with them, I mean, you're just all over the place now. It's pretty awesome.
He's been definitely I would say a mentor to me, and it's definitely done a whole lot. He's producing the record, you know, signed me to the label, so I have to definitely say I owe a hell of a lot to that guy.
What advice would you give young up-and-coming artists today?
My main advice, and this is the main thing that I see in a lot of artists, is lack of, I guess, originality. And it's something that my dad always told me growing up. He was like, if you really want to do this, make sure that you're not like anybody else. And I was like, well, how do I do that? And he was like, be as genuine to who you are as possible. And if you're absolutely yourself and you're as real as you can be with your writing and with your playing, when you're playing for people, then that would translate.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I've always stuck with that. And I think a lot of people nowadays, and I think it's kind of been always been this way, but people tend to idolize the people that they love, and what ends up happening is they sound too much like their influences instead of like themselves.
Yeah.
And that can be tough, you know. I think finding your voice is such a huge thing. I mean, look at somebody like Bob Dylan. I mean, we can all agree that he's not one of the greatest singers in the world, you know, but he was just so original, and it's such a great writer.
I definitely agree, yeah.
He had his own thing. I think having your own thing means more than technically being an amazing singer or an amazing player. It's more of finding your sound.
I agree, absolutely. Your tour is called the Cheap Wine Tour. Where does that come from?
There's actually a wine here in Atlanta called Cheap Wine. It's an organic wine, and that's literally what it's called. And I got really drunk on it one night, and I wrote a song called Cheap Wine. And it was this girl I used to date. She drank it a lot, and so you know I saw it, and it kind of brought back those memories. And so I decided I would get drunk and write a song about her based on that. So
That's awesome.
it ended up eventually becoming the title of the record that I got right now, the acoustic record I got. So yeah.
So, yeah, I tell people all the time, and date a song, or you'll end up in a song or somewhere in it.
We will. We pull from life experiences.
Oh yeah. Every single song I've written is because of some guy. What is Letters for Lyrics, and how has it made a difference overseas?
Letters for Lyrics is a program that me and Zach Brown band, Sonia Lee, and Levi Lowry are doing. Us four comprise Southern God Records. We have just recently added on the Wood Brothers as well, but they weren't on board when we did Letters for Lyrics, when we made the actual compilation. But basically it's a compilation CD. Each of us donated 3 original songs, and we partnered up with Ram, the Dodge Ram. Basically, if you go to any Dodge dealership or you come to any one of our shows and you write a letter to a soldier, we'll give you the compilation CD for free. And basically it's just an initiative that we're wanting to do to get letters to soldiers on the other side of the world. I think a lot of people get caught up in the politics of war, and which, I mean, of course, we all have our opinions on it, but when it boils down to it, these guys aren't involved in the politics of it. They're just they love this country, and they're putting their lives on the line. And they got family, they got kids, just like all of us, and they're over there, and it can be really lonely over there. And a lot of people don't understand what a few kind words can do for somebody.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In that situation, you know. Zach's gone over there a lot for USO, and I'm really wanting to get over there really soon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you guys, if you guys have been able to visit and play with the soldiers, for the soldiers,
I've done U.S. shows here in the States. I played at Fort Hood for the soldiers there. I haven't got the chance to go over there. It's something I really want to do. It's just a matter of the opportunity
Awesome.
lining up. But it's something I want to get over to Afghanistan or somewhere where their soldiers far, far away and bring a little bit of home to them. It makes such a difference, way more of a difference than it would over here. It's just these people, you know, need it in a big way. Just any kind of you know, support, and letting them know that we support them regardless of if maybe we do or don't support. It has the actual war there has nothing to do with them as people, and the fact that they're fellow Americans sacrificing their time and their lives so that we can be over here hanging out, having a good time, talking about music and getting ready to enjoy a show tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. I've got several friends that are overseas. It looks like we're running out of time. Anything you want to say to the fans?
Yeah, check my website out, NicCowanmusic.com. Hopefully you like the music. I'm right here in Atlanta. Be looking for the new record. It's called Hard Headed, and it comes out this spring. Zach Brown will be a guest singer on the record, and I got another surprise for you on it, but you'll have to wait. But hopefully I'll see you at the show sometime.
All right, that's it for us. We're going to go enjoy the show, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.